White House. Our next guest says it's clear Iran is getting close to a deal that will not dismantle any nuclear facilities or infrastructure in Iran. Joining us tonight, Senator David Vitter, member of the Armed Services and Judiciary Committee. Senator, good to have you with us.
Great to be with you, Lou.
Let's begin, if we may, then with first these ships of ours, led by the USS Roosevelt, moving into those waters off Yemen to ostensibly initially to interdict any weapons that might have been offloaded from an Iranian convoy. What do you make of it?
Well, I don't know, Lou. The problem is, as you said in the lead up to this discussion, there are very mixed messages from the administration. They're not being clear, in my opinion, at all, number one. Number two, they're very good at drawing lines in the sand, and then after somebody crosses the line, doing nothing about it. I hope we don't live through that sort of episode again with regard to sending ships, and it really means nothing in the end to the Iranians.
Is there, as Kevin Corke just reported, in your view, considerable doubt that the president would do what is required to stop weapons being shipped to the Houthis in favor of negotiations proceeding?
I think there's a lot of doubt in everybody's mind, in my mind, but more importantly in the Iranians. And I think by their actions, they clearly are almost thumbing their nose at the president because they clearly don't think he's going to stand up in any meaningful way.
And what do you make of the president's choice of saying variously and often contradictorily what the breakout time was for Iran to move from uranium enrichment to actually having the bomb, varying anywhere from 2 to 3 months to 12 months, and it appears that variance was often controlled and driven by the necessity in the president's mind to support whatever view he is proposing at that moment.
Yeah, the goal line has been moving constantly in these negotiations, and it's been, you know, our general goals in terms of this whole negotiation has been lowered and lowered and lowered and lowered. So it's really part of that.
Loretta Lynch, turning to the Attorney General nominee of this president. Tomorrow, as you are well aware, there will be a full Senate vote. You opposed her in Judiciary.
Right.
I would suspect you will continue to do so.
Yes.
There seems to be a very clear move on the part of the leadership, Republican leadership, to drive her nomination through. Is that an incorrect perception?
Well, they're not advocating specifically for it, but they're certainly making it happen, and the vote will happen tomorrow. And I think it's important that we have never revisited the action by which Harry Reid lowered the cloture threshold in situations like this from 60 to a simple majority. So that alone is going to virtually ensure that she passes and is confirmed. That's disappointing to me, specifically on the issue of executive amnesty, because she's been very clear that she will be a major force, if confirmed, to help justify what I think is a clearly illegal action going beyond the president's proper authority in terms of his amnesty actions last November.
His amnesty actions, his executive actions are set to be ramped up, if one can imagine. But you have been opposed to his executive fiat, if you can style it that way. Are the federal courts really the only obstacle between this president and his fiats and what would be an even more imperious presidency?
Well, unfortunately, that's the only thing where we maybe have a chance right now. We did get a good early decision from the federal district court in Texas. That's being appealed to the U.S. Fifth Circuit. Those arguments were just held a couple of days ago. I think this issue will go to the U.S. Supreme Court. I certainly hope that courts along the way at least leave the stay in place so that President Obama can't execute all this, can't get all this done in the time that it takes the Supreme Court to decide the matter and make all that moot.
Senator Vitter, we thank you for being with us. Always good to have you with us.
Thanks, Lou, very much.
Senator